On this episode of Cox Connections, for 57 years, Volunteer Hampton Roads has been providing support to volunteer organizations in the area by encouraging volunteerism, providing training, and helping with large-scale projects. Today, we'll introduce you to one of the Volunteer Hampton Roads' most outstanding young volunteers. Also, the word bossy seems to be almost exclusively synonymous with little girls and almost never used when talking about boys. Unfortunately, fear of being called bossy can discourage some girls from taking on leadership roles. Today, we'll learn how our local Girl Scout organizations are trying to change this. And sounding like something out of the future, Star-Based Victory is a local program whose goal is to inspire students to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. Learn all about their mission today. Stay tuned, Cox Connections is next. Hello and welcome to Cox Connections. I'm your host, Gary McCullum, Senior Vice President and General Manager for Cox, Virginia. Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world." Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Every year, Volunteer Hampton Roads selects one citizen as their individual Youth Honoree, based on length of service, initiative, and impact on the community. Today, we are privileged to have this year's recipient, Brittany Acres, with us. Congratulations, Brittany.
Thank you.
What a great award, and thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
First off, let me just ask, how did you become interested in volunteering?
I've basically been volunteering for as long as I can remember because I've been a Girl Scout since kindergarten. So that gives a lot of opportunities to go out and serve the community. And my mom's also been a really great inspiration for me because she's been my Girl Scout leader, PTA president, and VBS coordinator, and everything that you can imagine.
Oh, well, great. So it was kind of all in the family.
Family fair.
So tell me a little bit about some of the volunteering that you've done.
Through school, I've done cancer walks like Laps for Lymphoma, which Grassfield does, and St. Jude's Give Thanks Walk, and then I've also been a volunteer math tutor at the study hall after school through Mu Alpha Theta. Through my youth group, I've helped out with women's shelters, and then I've earned my Girl Scout Gold, Silver, and Bronze awards. And probably the one that's closest to my heart is the Dolphin Duos program that I began for my Girl Scout Gold Award because I started that program from the very beginning, and now it's been running for 3 years and helped over 100 kids. So,
wow, that is phenomenal.
Thank you.
So, you think about volunteering, you think about, most people, I'm volunteering, I'm not getting anything in return, but how has this affected your life?
It's really shaped me into the person that I am now. It's made me a more well-rounded, humble person. I think that it's really important to be able to share your gifts because everyone's blessed with something different, and when you have an abundance of gifts, it's best to go out and share it.
So what was the one volunteer job that was the most fun?
It's a toss-up between the EVMS Straylitz Diabetes Center, where I actually got to conduct diabetes screenings around the Norfolk and Portsmouth areas, because that was more of a learning experience, and I want to go into medicine. So I was taking blood and doing diabetes and cholesterol screenings and explaining results. But then there's also the Dolphin Duos program, and that was just, I started it, and it's come so far and helped so many people.
So I have to ask, how did you come up with the idea of starting that program?
Literacy has always been close to my heart because I started reading when I was 4, and I've always loved reading. And when I would look around and see little kids who don't love reading, it just breaks my heart. So I wanted to go in twice a week and volunteer with first and second graders who struggle with reading and help them learn to love books and writing.
Yeah, that is so wonderful, and the impact of that is going to be so far-reaching. There are people watching today's show, and they're looking at you and they're saying, "Wow, that's great that she's doing that." Why do you think people should volunteer? What could you share with them to encourage them to go out to do more volunteering?
You should volunteer because there's no better way to help your fellow people. If you can make a positive difference in the world, it's really, really a beneficial thing for you and for everyone around you.
And you're absolutely right. If people could really see that what they're doing, it has such a long, lasting impact to the community and to the world we live in. So what's next? We talked a little earlier about school, but what's next for you?
I'm going to the College of William and Mary, and I'll be a Monroe Scholar there and a Legacy because my dad went there. So I'm really excited for all the new opportunities it's going to present, not only to learn, which I love, but also to volunteer in the Williamsburg area.
So do you think while at William and Mary you'll continue this effort in volunteering and getting involved on campus, both on campus and possibly even off campus?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking into the Monroe program has a after-school studying session with kids at the local elementary and middle schools. So I'll definitely be doing that because it's right up my alley.
So last question, if people are interested in volunteering, maybe they don't have the mom who kind of got you started so early, but how should they go about doing it? I mean, you have people again listening to this show who are saying, I would love to do that, but what are some tips? What should they do?
First, you have to find something that you love and that you can commit to, because it's definitely a lot of time that it takes up. So if you're really into helping the homeless, you can volunteer at food banks, or you can look into projects like Blankets for the Homeless. If you want to help out with children, you can do the Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA or after-school study halls. If you're into cancer research, there's walks and fundraisers all the time in this area. But then you also can't be afraid to start your own program, because it's been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life.
So in short, if there's a need, don't hesitate, don't procrastinate, go out and make a difference.
Exactly.
Brittany, thank you so much, and congratulations on the award. And I can tell that we're going to be hearing more about you in the future. And again, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Little boys are applauded when they assert themselves, but what happens when a little girl does the same thing? Studies have shown that the stigma of being called bossy can stay with young girls for a long time, creating challenges when asked to assume leadership roles. We'll talk with our local Girl Scouts who are on a mission to change this unfortunate reality. Stay tuned for more Cox Connections.